Alright, putting back together Kodak EasyShare z1285. Start putting the screen back in first. Gotta get it in at the right spot. It doesn't lock in or anything, you lock it manually. Same thing with this one. Get it in and lock it. Once you get it in there, the latch pull back in. Nice and tight. Pop the screen back in. No screws or anything, it just sits in there nice and tight. Now before you start putting the rest back together, test that monitor. Just to make sure you got it. I got a busted monitor in right now. Battery's dead. Either way, test it before you put it back together. Next thing is the little latch that uncovers the memory card. There's a little spring. I don't know if you can see the spring, but right there. Gotta tuck that spring underneath this part. And then it'll hold itself in there. That's what gives the spring action to it. Once you got that in, lock it in place by putting the cover back on. Just go flat against it. Pops in pretty easily. And again, that's what gives it the spring action. So if you don't have that spring action, you didn't latch that in properly. You can see right there where the spring goes underneath this little part. Now you put all the screws back in. Screws are a little different. I'll zoom in on them for you. Should only be 5 that you took out originally. You notice these two are different sizes. The smaller one goes in the bottom part. The bigger one goes on the inside of the camera. Guess it goes on that side. Yep, not gonna focus. You get the idea though. Back out. Start with putting this cover back on. Just make sure everything's flush and flat. Both of these screws are the same. Side back on. Again, make sure it's flush. and flat. Smaller screw, again, smaller one, goes on the bottom part. Oops. Just before you put the cover back on, I want to put the screw in. So the bigger screw goes on there, and that covers it up by mistake. And the last screw. Your camera might have black ones, might have silver ones. Kinda really don't matter. As long as they're all the right size. That's the only screw we had to take out of the actual cover itself. It was right there. That's how you put it back together. The EasyShare.